Hello, hello. Um, it's been a while. It's been a couple years. I assume some of you here probably don't remember subscribing to this channel or might not remember me. And that is reasonable since it's been like 3 or 4 years since I've uploaded a proper YouTube video. But assuming you're probably here from my political content, you might remember my god awful political ideology tier list or one of the other many polarizing videos I uploaded in relation to politics. Um, the idea is to kind of move away from that and start up on more music related content, like this video, of course. Regardless, I'm glad you're here. Maybe you're just clicking here to be like, who is this? When did I sub to this person? But if you're interested in the content, I'm just kind of making this video to test the waters with this new form of content. Music's a big passion of mine. I really like listening to and reviewing music. One more thing before we jump in, down in the description down there, and maybe I'll put something on screen. We'll see if I remember and post edit. There will be my link to my Discord, Marxie's Corner. We just did a rebrand. We have over 500 members, and the idea is to grow into a music driven community where we do events like listening parties, maybe some music playlist battles, just fun little activities. It's a big community center. I have various content creators and artists that work in here, and I'm trying to revive the server a little bit as there was a couple recent things that have caused it to plummet a little bit in activity. But regardless, join up if you're interested. It would do me a huge favor. And if you like the content here, please drop a sub. Please like the video if you enjoy. And okay, I won't hold you any longer. Okay, so I have compiled together based on my AOTY ratings and just kind of overall feelings. My five favorite projects this year with one honorable mention. So I guess six favorite projects this year. Um, Obviously we're around now like the 6 month midpoint of the year, so I figured it'd be a good time to kind of drop like a how's music doing halfway through the year. I have listened to maybe not as much music as I typically do during a year so far, but I imagine by the end of the year that'll be significantly increased. You'll certainly see a lot of pop and alt pop bias on here because that's kind of been what I've been rocking with as of late. But I think there's a lot of bangers here. I'm not making this to be like, hey, these are the factual best records. This is more of a like, hey, if you haven't heard these, check them out. Every album I mention will be linked in the description with a platform that you can check it out on. So let's jump right into it. First, with the honorable mention, I decided to do Slayr's Half Blood Bloodluxe. Obviously, the actual Half Blood record dropped in 2025, but the Bloodluxe did come out this year. And I've been loving this. The reason I don't have it in my top five is because it's a deluxe, so I figured I'd want to reserve that for full length LPs. But I've been loving this one. This is handily some of the best rage music to come out, period. I think that the Bloodlux was already great, or Half Blood was already great, rather. And Bloodlux does a lot to just add more and more bangers to it. And I think the material on Bloodlux is even better than what was initially on the record. Tracks like Flash Out Freestyle is a really big highlight for me. And I think that the heavy guitar tones on that track do so much and merge so well with his voice, and the fact that he's only 18 years old putting out music of this quality is ridiculous. If you would have told me that Slayr was going to put a better album out than Cardi in this era, I would have said, what timeline are we in? But it's great. Other bangers, Daytona, amazing. Brain Fog is probably one of my favorite openers of the year so far. I'm absolutely loving this one. Check it out. Probably one of the best hip hop records to come out of the year so far. At least one of my favorites. Moving on, we have the debut studio LP from my new band Believe. Now, if you're not familiar, my new band Believe is Cameron Picton's new act of Black MIDI fame, and it's a completely different detachment from the sound of Black MIDI because He moves in a more progressive folk singer-songwriter direction with this record. I absolutely love Target Practice. The opener to this record is probably my song of the year right now, if not one of close top three. Other bangers on this record, like Love Story, is amazing. Actress is an absolute heater. The lush vocals on this album are beautiful. It is certainly a pleasant listen throughout. I loved Cameron Picton's vocals when he was in Black Midi, and I think it suits this genre of music maybe even better than it did when he was in Midi. And I absolutely love it. This record's great. I could sing its praises all day, and the fact that this is the beginning of my new band, Believe, I expect way better things to come out of them in the coming future. Up next, we have the millionth studio LP at this point by Converge, Love Is Not Enough. The fact that these guys have been doing this for over 30 years and the material is still sounding this good in 2026 is ridiculous. They're getting to the point where we do just have to acknowledge that they have just one of the strongest and most consistent discographies in music, period. I think they have continued to dominate metalcore, and I think this record proves it. The opener and title track, Love Is Not Enough, is an absolutely amazing heavy hitter that just comes in hard. Tracks like Gilded Cage are absolute heaters. Make Me Forget You and We Were Never the Same close off the album so well. It's only 31 minutes long, but you feel all 31 of those minutes because it's so heavy, it's so punchy. The vocals, they tend to deviate from what you would initially expect with the very heavy, screamy vocals that are off-putting to some. There's points where the vocals are a lot more toned down than I'm used to with Converge, but I liked that. I know the sound was maybe different for what some people were expecting or took a liking to from them, but I absolutely loved it. I think that it worked very well for the sound that they were attempting to create on this album, and I absolutely love it. I think that this is one of their better records, period, and the hype is definitely real with Converge. Up next, we have Slayyr's record, Worst Girl in America. I think just about everybody knows about this one at this point. Uh, I absolutely love this record. Going into it, I knew I'd like it already because electro clash is just a genre that's resonated with me, and I've been very much on my pop industrial vibe as of late, I guess. The raw sexual party energy of this record is just so apparent from every track. Tracks like Crank are some of the absolute biggest heavy hitters of the year so far. And this record just gets you up wanting to move constantly. I had seen Slayyyter live. I heard almost all of this album live when I went to her concert, and it hits even harder live than it does in the studio release. I think that she is kind of cementing herself and putting herself on the map as a pop figure to look out for. And I look forward to what she does next after this record because I think that this was kind of her finally pushing through the barrier into the mainstream, and I'm expecting big things. Next up, we have Halo by Tiffany Day. I know that for a lot of people, this record maybe didn't hit as hard as it did for me, but the reason that this is my number 2 placement here is because I absolutely love this. Again, electro pop, dance pop. It's just been doing it for me. I love her vocal performances on this record. I love the EDM influences strewn about. I think the songwriting works well for what she's attempting. I think the introspective and insecure tone of this record kind of does well to almost create an opposites attract with the sound of the music. I think that it's different from what you're normally getting from this genre in terms of writing, in terms of delivery and performances. The opener, Everything I've Ever Wanted, is absolutely amazing, and the seamless transition into Do It For Me is so smooth. It hits so hard. Tracks like Start Over are addicting. I find myself going back to that song constantly. Tracks like Copycat show off that level of insecurity in her music, and it's great. It's amazing. Listen to it. Don't listen to the haters because I know it has quite a bit. It's worth it. Track. And my number 1 LP of the year so far, Underscores You. If you know me, this isn't surprising. I have been spamming this record. You is underscores once again 3 records in, changing her sound. It shows off how versatile she is as a producer, as a writer, and as just a female voice in the underground electropop community. Do It, the lead off single, Do It. I already knew this album was going to be a banger when I heard that song. On repeat, Music, another amazing single. And then you get to the record, tracks like Innuendo, absolute ear candy. The chorus on that song has just been in and out of my mind for weeks. The opener, Tell Me You Want It, jumps you right in immediately. Hollywood Forever, emotional banger. The Peace, emotional banger. Love Field, emotional banger. And it closes out with Wish You Well. 34 minutes of absolute heat. One of my favorite party records of the year. I'm recommending this to everybody. It's my number one right now. And just to close out, I just want to thank you for sticking around to the end here. This video might be a bit rough around the edges. It's just kind of myself easing back into making videos in general since I've just been away from it for so long. But I'm hoping you enjoyed it. I hope that my commentary was at least interesting enough to make you want to go out and listen to some of these records. I definitely recommend them. Again, they'll all be linked down in the description. Save my Discord, join up. We have cool stuff planned, things coming soon. And I thank all of you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully not be in multiple years. Peace out.